Okay, good afternoon, grade 12 EIM and grade 12 SMAU students. Welcome to Practical Research 2, Module 1, wherein we're going to talk about characteristics, strengths, weaknesses, and kinds of quantitative research. So in this part, we're going to discuss first the learning objectives before we proceed with our main lesson. So the learning objectives at the end of this module, you are expected to define quantitative research, describe the characteristics of quantitative research, determine the strengths, weaknesses of quantitative research, and identify the kinds of quantitative research. So let's define first quantitative research. So this is the very beginning of quantitative research. Practical research too is all about quantitative research. So I am going to give you a lot of definitions and descriptions. Ang gagawin ninyo, isusulat ninyo, iti-take down notes ninyo yung mga words na nakapukol ng inyong isip, ng attention ninyo para ipunin natin yung pagkatapos. And then we can come up with a very specific definition. Okay? According to Aliaga and Gunderson, 2000, na pala si Aliaga at Gunderson ay writers, apelido nila yon, Aliaga and Gunderson, and their book was published in the year 2000. So they gave the definition of quantitative research as it is explaining phenomena by collecting numerical data that are analyzed using mathematical based methods. In particular, statistics that is given by Aliaga and Gunderson. This type of research utilizes numbers and statistical analysis. It is ideal in studying phenomenon which must contend with the problems of measurement. Ibig sabihin, quantitative research is all about numbers. It uses statistics, numbers, measurements in order to come up with a decision, in order for you to prove or to test your hypothesis if you're going to accept or to reject your hypothesis. Next, quantitative research is the traditional positivist scientific method which refers to a general set of ordered disciplined procedures to acquire information. It utilizes deductive reasoning to generate predictions that are tested in the real world. So it is systematic since the researcher progresses logically through a series of steps and according to a pre-specified plan of action. So quantitative research uses scientific methods. It uses a sophisticated plan so that we can come up with a very good research. It also uses statistics in particular so that you can come up or you can treat your data, numerical data, for you to have your data treated and your interpretation. Okay? Now, I want you to give me the words that best describe quantitative research. According to our definition or given definition, will you please cite some of the words or terms that best describe quantitative research? Anyone? Okay, let me give you this. Number one, okay, phenomena. Next, we have numerical data. Diba? Tama? Nakalito yan. Ito, phenomena, phenomenon. Pareho lang po ba yun? Oo, phenomena is ibig sabihin, maraming pangyayari. Phenomenon, isang pangyayari lang. Okay? What else? Statistics, numbers. Ayan. Sa kabila. Scientific method, deductive reasoning, systematic. Ayan yung mga words na pwede natin gamitin. Now, let's come up with the precise definition. So, quantitative methods or research emphasizes objective measurements and the statistical, mathematical, or numerical analysis of data collected through polls, questionnaires, and surveys, or by manipulating pre-existing statistical data using computational techniques. Quantitative research focuses on gathering numerical data and generalizing it across groups of people or to explain a particular phenomenon. So, in quantitative research, it uses mathematical, statistical, and numerical analysis. Paano? By interpreting the collected data through paano ka magko-collect ng data? Polls, questionnaires, surveys, or by manipulating pre-existing statistical data. So it uses scientific methods so that you can come up with a very good study. So in quantitative research, you are looking for pattern. Okay? So the more respondents you have, the better result. Next, let me give you this illustration. So as you can see here, the illustration here has the word phenomenon. Okay, the phenomenon has arrows. Ibig sabihin, ito yung mga examples ng phenomenon na pwede nating sabihin na uh, pwedeng, anong tawag doon, uh, maging topic mo sa research. Okay? So the word phenomenon is repeatedly mentioned in our definitions, tama? Or descriptions in the quantitative research. So ano ba ang phenomenon? According to the dictionary, a phenomenon is a peculiar incident that can happen anywhere with any discipline or any organization. So, the examples of phenomenon, ito nga, example ng mga to. Pwede nyo rin itong gawing or ginagawa itong quantitative research ng mga ibang industry na kung saan nakasakop. Kumari, ito, increase of sales sa ang industry yan, so business, increase of turnover rates sa business pa rin, increase of dropout rates, ito sa education yan, decreases of number of students failing in mathematics sa education yan, shift in the percentage of dengue patients, medicine, rise in the rate of growth of youth drug addiction, and decrease in the juvenile crime rate in the rural areas. So, yun yung example ng phenomenon na pwede mong investigahan o gawa ng research. Next. So, we are now on the characteristics of quantitative research. The first characteristic is the data is usually gathered using structured research instruments. As I've said a while ago, before you make your research, you need to plan your research sophisticatedly and follow scientific procedures. In order for you to plan, one of the procedure is to ready your research instrument. Pag sinabing research instrument, we are not talking about musical instrument or baking instrument or the instrument using or tools in making a house or making or planting tree. Hindi yung mga yon. Ibig sabihin ng instrument ay itong mga to. Questionnaire, checklist, interview, and video and audio recorders. Yung mga instrument na yan ang gagamitin mo para sa pagkukolekt ng data na kailangan mo. Okay? So, pwedeng yan ang hawakan. Pwedeng yung iba, hindi mahawakan mag-interview. So, structured yung mga yan. Ibig sabihin, nakagawa na sila bago ka mag-gather ng data. Hindi katulad pagka nag-qualitative research ka, yung qualitative research, may mga tanong ka lang, and then sasagutin nila, and then you may have follow-up questions. So, hindi katulad dito, multiple choice, pipili ang iyong respondents ng mga sagot nila dun sa mga ibinigay mong choices. Okay? Next. Number 2, the results are based on larger sample sizes that are representative of the population. The population is the total number of your respondents. Ibig sabihin, ito yung malaking total na bilang. And then, from the population, you can get samples. You cannot have or you cannot include all the number of population in your study kasi it is very impossible or close to impossible if not kasi you have a very large number of respondents. Eh kung 1,000,000 ang respondents mo, kakayanin mo bang i-interview yan? Unang-una, mahal. Pangalawa, yung capability mo is hindi masyadong rich kasi nga senior high school kayo. Pangatlo, it's close to impossible kasi pandemic ngayon, you cannot go out. And some of the other respondents do not have cell phones or they do not have access to technology. Ngayon, in order for you to find, diniscuss ko sa hindi ko lang alam kung na-discuss sa inyo. sa mga modules sa statistics. So, this is the formula in finding the sample out of the population. Given ang number ng population, which is the capital letter N, and then small letter n ang ating sample. Okay? Small letter n stands for the sample size. The capital letter N stands for the population. Letter E stands for the margin of error. So this is the formula and it's called Sloven's formula. So ito ang ginagamit para makuha mo, ma-solve mo, ma-compute mo mula sa number ng population para ma-compute mo kung ilan ang sample mo na i-include mo sa iyong mga respondents. Okay? Kung naaalala mo yung confidence level, 90% ng confidence level, the researcher is confident, 90% confident that his research is correct or accurate. Ilan ang margin of error nun? Kung 90% ang accuracy. Ilan? Kung 100 ang 100%, di ba? So, 90% siya na confidence. Ilan ang margin of error? Anyone? 100 minus 90. 10%, di ba? Okay. So, ibig sabihin, pwedeng 0.0 o 0.1 ang maging margin of error dito. What if I am 95% confident? Ilan ang margin of error ko? 5%. So, 0.05. How about if I am 99% confident? Or the alpha is 99%, yes? 1%, very good. It is equivalent to 0.01. Kung natatandaan niyo pa, lesson yung sa statistics nung last semester. Okay, next characteristic is the research study can usually be replicated or repeated given its high reliability. So, sa tingin nyo ba, yung mga data na nag-gather noong taong 1990, applicable pa ba sila ngayong taong na to, 2021? Hindi na, di ba? Kasi iba na yung panahon ngayon. Noong wala nang pandemic, ngayon meron na. So, yung mga tao noong 1990, matatanda na ngayon. Isa na ako dun sa mga yun. So, kayo, hindi pa kayo lumilitaw noon. So, ibig sabihin, kung meron mga phenomena na nag-i-exist pa noon at nag-i-exist pa rin ngayon at gusto nyo gawa ng study, kunwari, teenage pregnancy, nag-i-exist pa rin ba yun hanggang ngayon? Oo, yes, nag-i-exist siya kasi mas dumami pa nga ngayon kasi nga pandemic eh. Tapos nasa bahay lang. So marami silang oras. Okay? Hindi katulad nun, mas marami ang oras sa eskwela kumpara sa bahay. So, ibig sabihin, pwede mong i-replicate yung study na tungkol sa teenage pregnancy. At kaya lang, iba yung magiging respondents mo kasi nga, hindi na reliable yung mga respondents noong ulang panahon ng 1990. Okay? So, you get my point? Iba na yung mga respondents mo and then iba na rin yung oras. So, you can have a high reliability noon kasi magiging, kumbaga, yung mga respondents mo ay napapanahon or sila ngayon yung nasa oras na dapat sila yung, kumbaga, kasama sa phenomenon or problema na gusto kong i-research. Okay, next, number 4. The researcher has to clearly define research question to which objective answers are sought. So, one of the most important part of the quantitative research is the research question. So, na makikita mo ang research question na yan sa iyong statement of the problem. So, isa sa mga pinaka-check ko ang statement of the problem na makikita sa chapter 1 ng research. So, kasi ito yung pinaka-outline ng inyong research. Kung wala ang research question, kung wala yung mga yan, wala kayong problema. Diba? So, kailangan nandiyan yung mga yan. Next, all aspects of the study are carefully designed before data is collected. Sabi ko nga kanina, you have to plan sophisticatedly and follow scientific steps in order for you to come up with a very good research. So you have to carefully design your research instrument. You have to carefully plan your research questions, your interview questions para mas maging maayos yung kalabasan ng iyong research. Next, data are in the form of numbers and statistics, often arranged in tables, charts, figures, or other non-textual forms. So the data that you're going to gather are in the form of numbers. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, kakambal ng quantitative research ang statistics kasi it includes numbers. So lahat ng data na magagather mo ay in the form of numbers. And they will be arranged in tables, charts, figures, and other non-textual. Pag sinabing non-textual, hindi sila words, numbers sila. Okay? Kaya nga, ang inyong lingkod ay isang mathematics major dahil ang quantitative research ay nag-justify na isang mathematics major kasi nga puro number ang pinag-uusapan natin dito. Research siya na may kasamang number. Okay, number 7. Project or project can be used to generalize concept more widely, predict future results, or investigate causal relationship. So in here, hindi lang yung future results yung pwede mong ma-predict. You can also find the cause of the problem using the data you gathered. So ibig sabihin, you can find the cause and effect. Yung mga naunang nangyari, yung mga naunang ano ba ang dahilan kung bakit nangyari itong phenomena na to at ano ba yung mga naging epekto kung bakit nangyari itong phenomena to. Okay? Next, researcher uses tools such as questionnaires or computer software to collect numerical data. We in the master's degree, we use SPSS. So, computer software yon para treat mo, hindi mo kailangan mag-solve ng mano-mano. Yung pinag-aralan niyo sa statistics last semester, yun yung ginagawa sa SPSS. Kumbaga, i-input mo lang yung data, sila nang bahala. So, yung mga kinukompute nyo na napakarami at napakadami table, yun yung mga ginagawa sa statistics. So, in our case, we are going to use a Microsoft Excel. That's why I'm encouraging you to have a laptop na may Microsoft Excel. Okay? Number 9, the overarching aim of a quantitative research study is to classify features, count them, and construct statistical models in an attempt to explain what is observed. So, the main goal of quantitative research is to classify, count, and construct statistical models, and then interpret all the results. All the numbers that you can see, all the numbers in the table, you must interpret them. Okay? Okay, next. Let's move on with the quantitative strengths of quantitative research. It is highly recommended for the late phase of research because it provides the researcher a clear picture of what to expect in his research. Because we are talking about numbers here, kahit nasa late phase na tayo ng research nyo, basta nandun yung mga data nyo, ay okay pa rin. Kasi, hindi katulad sa qualitative research, you have to be with your participants dahil isang part lang ang ma-miss mo. So, malaking part na yun ang ma-miss mo. Unlike in here, nandun yung mga data, numbers, so kayang-kaya pa rin natin siya kabulan. Di ba nga? We can predict the future and we can know the cause or cause and effect. Next. Number 2, objective in approach in the sense that it only seeks precise measurements and analysis of target concept to answer its inquiry. So, isang strength din ng quantitative research ay precise yung mga measurements niya kasi nga we are using numbers. And the analysis is very precise. You can come up with a decision with precise data. Next, use quantitative research at the end of the design process to measure improvement. So, you can come up with the malalaman mo kung nag-i-improve yung mga yung result through your data. Next, quantitative experiments can be difficult. Ayun lang. Dali. Number 4 pala tayo. Quantitative research design is an excellent way of finalizing results and proving or disproving hypotheses. Ang kaibahan ng quantitative research, isa sa mga kaibahan niya, ang quantitative research ay may hypothesis, ang qualitative wala siya. Assumption na sa qualitative. Okay, kung natatandaan niyo ba yun. Next, number 5. After statistical analysis of the results in conducting quantitative research, a comprehensive answer is reached and the results can be legitimately discussed and concluded. Makikita niyo doon sa chapter 4 ng inyong research, puro table yon. Pero sa ilalim ng table, meron tayong natawag na interpretation. So, yung interpretation na yun, dun malalaman ano na nga bang nangyari, ano tungkol saan ba itong mga number na to. So, yung interpretation na magsasabi kung tungkol saan o anong nangyari sa research mo. Next, study findings will be generalized to the population about which information is required. So, ibig sabihin nito, diba sample ang ginamit natin, pero pwede natin sabihin or i-generalize na yung result natin sa sample, pwedeng yun din ang representation ng buong population. Okay? Next, weaknesses. Ito, shortcut na lang po. So, one of the weaknesses of quantitative research, of course, difficult, mahirap siya, lalo na sa mga hindi math person, expensive, mahal, and it requires a lot of time to perform. Next, very self-explanatory na yun, hindi ko na masyadong i-discuss. It requires extensive statistical analysis, so yun ang problema. Inaral nyo ba mabuti yung statistics nyo? Yun ang dahilan kung bakit ibigay ang statistics in your high school, kung bakit may ganon, kahit na EIM kayo, kahit na sumang kayo. Kasi nga, kailangan ito sa research ninyo. Number 3, it requires successful statistical confirmation. So, kung mali yung mga na-solve mo, uulit ka na naman kasi mali ang magiging result ng iyong decision. So, instead na i-accept yung hypothesis, i-reject mo pala. Mali ang magiging result. So, walang kwenta yung research mo. Sayang ang pagod mo. Next, that's why, don't worry, I'm going to assist you in order for you to come up with a precise and accurate statistical treatment. Next, it can generate improved and improved results. So, we are not about the facts, maybe, yung mga what if, walang ganon. Talagang kailangan i-prove natin yung mga facts natin. And then, may mga paliwanag yan, may mga support yun na number. Okay? Okay, now let's move on to the kinds of quantitative research. So we only have 3 types: descriptive, correlation, and quasi-experimental. So maraming klase ng quantitative research, pero ito na lang ibinigay ko sa inyo kasi senior high school pa lang naman kayo at ito lang mostly ginagamit ng mga senior high school. Take note, ito yung mga pinakamadadali. Okay? So, itong mga research design na to, ito yung mga usual na ginagamit, pinaka-common na ginagamit ng mga senior high school. Okay, number 1 is descriptive from the word itself. Describe. The word is describe. Ibig sabihin, mula sa survey, mula sa poll, ginamit or nakuha mo, mula sa data na nakuha mo, you're just going to describe what you had in your data. O ano yung result na nakuha mo sa iyong treatment para matupot kung ano yung phenomenon. Ito yung mga examples. So, business and market researchers that want to observe habits and traits of the consumers or brand users. Example, ano ba ang gamit na sabon ng panlaban lahat ng nanay sa Remedios National High School? Lahat ng nanay sa Remedios Ligaw. So, siyempre, dun sa poll na yun, magkakamit ka. Maglalagay ka ng mga choices. Ano ba yung mga sabon? Surf, Breeze, Sala, Speed, ano pa ba? So, yan yung mga ano, are yes, right. So, out of that, pipili sila. So, kung alin ang pinakamaraming, ibig sabihin yun yung maraming gamit or maraming money na gumagamit dun sa brand na yun. I-describe mo yan. Okay? Kung, out of 100%, 90% of the wide methods is about uses speed as their soap in laundry. So, ganun yan. Next, correlation lab. Okay, correlation of this site is mostly used by senior high school students because it only explores the relationship between two or more variables. Let me give you an example. Madali na lang i-digest para sa inyo. Is there a relationship between the length of hair and the size of your shoes? May relasyon ba? Ibig sabihin ba, pagka mahaba ang buhok, malaki rin yung size ng sapatos? Meron ba? Totoo ba yun? True or false? True or false? Wala po. Hindi po namin alam. Any answer? The more ako makakapagpapalala. Ibig sabihin mo, malaki yung size ng sapatos ko. And then yung baby. Tama ba yun? False. Okay, so wala akong relasyon. Ito pa. The number of hours in studying lesson and the grades or academic performance. May relasyon ba yun? Ibig ba sabihin, more ng mahaba ang oras sa pag-aaral, the more na may chance ka na tumaas ang grade mo. True or false? True. So, gano'n ang correlation design. Ibig sabihin, naghahanap ng relasyon sa dalawang variable. Ibig sabihin ng variable is kahit anything under the sun, basta about this phenomenon or this problem na gusto mo i-search or i-research. Okay? Example natin yung amount of money a person has positively correlate to the approximate number of assets in the companies he has. Sabihin, yung pinakamaraming pera or yung pinakamayaman na tao sa isang kumpanya, ibig sabihin, pinakamaraming yung kanyang share sa kumpanya. Naniniwala kayo doon? Oo naman, di ba? Kasi nga, ikaw yung pinakamayaman, ibig sabihin, ikaw may pinakamaraming share sa kumpanya. Next. Lastly, the classic experimental design. In this one, ito yung tawag natin ito. Pwede natin gamitin ito, pwede nyo gamitin ito kasi nga, kaya na sabi, you can predict the future and you can find out what happened. Kasi nga, this is also known as the causal comparative method and only seeks to begin the cause and effect relationship between two or more variables. Okay, the research does not assign groups and does not manipulate independent variable. Ibig sabihin, meron ng kagad group, meron ng control group at meron isang hindi control or uncontrolled. Example, yung sa baba na lang tayo. Supporting production of vaccine. Kasi ito yung napapanahon mo. Supporting the production of vaccine against COVID-19 and use of self-defense research and assisted use of plastic clearance and blood. Ano yung variable dito? Production of variable or production of vaccines against COVID-19. And use of health system research disease. Yan yung mga variable nyo dyan. Okay? So, para sa inyong mga activities, you're going to answer what I